Hey everybody, welcome back to Terraining Battles. Sorry for no upload yesterday. I just wasn't feeling too well and I was still kind of just relaxing after spending the weekend in Portland for regionals. So I'm going to try and do a double upload this week sometime. Probably not today because this episode's going up a little later than I'd like. So I'll shoot for Monday or Thursday, most likely for a double upload. So this week I've got a new team, as you can see. This is the team that Adrian Sigler used to win Portland Regionals over this past weekend. I actually played Adrian round 2, and what's really funny is I was like fanboying in my head over the team like the whole time I was playing it. I had to like ask him for the team. So because there's something maybe some of you don't know, that is Gardevoir specifically is like one of my favorite Pokemon of like all the Pokemon in the game, just in general. So, and using it competitively is something that is probably my favorite thing to do. So, and Mega Gardevoir is a viable Mega, which is great, and I loved it when the little of 2015 I played. I loved Mega Gardevoir, and I'm really excited to use it again. It was the first Mega I was playing with early this format, but it was hard to kind of build around, especially because I wanted to try Gardevoir Snorlax then. And then when I talked to Adrian, like, apparently it was Justin Birds who had the idea, I think he came to the same conclusion I did. Like, it just lacked the resources necessary in this current meta. But now with Intimidate and Incineroar, because Incineroar is already really good with Gardevoir, but with Intimidate it makes it so much better. And we saw over the weekend how Gardevoir really rose in, I guess, just like strength. And usefulness over Portland Regionals, because the finals was both players in the finals had Gardevoir on their team, and so I think it's kind of gonna showcase the new Intimidate Incineroar, because that just got recently released, and then also how it helps Gardevoir out. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of Pokemon we've used. Pretty much all these Pokemon almost we've used on the channel already. So sorry if like the Pokemon are getting boring. I'm gonna try and maybe find some like more interesting stuff. It's like, I'm not the best with creative stuff. I mean, watch Matt's weeks if you really want to watch wacky stuff, because Matt's really good with that. I'm more of a standard player, so you kind of get both sides. But anyways, I really wanted to use Gardevoir, and I also asked Adrian for the team after Swiss was over that night, and he gave it to me, so I was able to use it in the mid-season showdown the next day just to get some. I just wanted to get some practice with it and a feel for it. You'll see I've played some Battle Spot games with it as well. So, yeah, let's go ahead and search for our next battle. And, yeah, so, like, Gardevoir, and what everyone knows about Gardevoir is the signature thing it does is spam Hyper Voice. Like, a lot of times you can just sit there and just fire off Hyper Voice. But one of the other cool things about Trick Room, and this is why I really like Gardevoir competitively, is that it has access to Trick Room. Now, even though Gardevoir is base 100 speed, like, Trick Room Gardevoir is still the most common Gardevoir because it uses it as a form of control. Because you run a lot of slower stuff with Gardevoir, and then Gardevoir itself can benefit from Trick Room in the right situation. But it also just, like I said, it's a great way to control the game. But a lot of times you're just pressing Hyper Voice in the end. So, so hopping in. We'll keep looking for our next opponent, or for our first opponent, rather. So, and then another thing what I really liked the idea of is Gardevoir Snorlax, because you have the Trick Room with Gardevoir to go set it for Snorlax. But again, you don't have to go Trick Room mode with the team. You can still bring Gardevoir, and it still just does so much. You can put in so much work without having to set up Trick Room for something. And then one of the general leads Adrian was doing was Coco Gardevoir, and I've been doing that as a lead, and it's actually a pretty scary lead. It does threaten a lot of damage because you have the potential for Hyper Voice plus the Gigavolt Havoc, or you can like Volt Switch Trick Room in certain situations. So it's really cool. So anyways, we find our first opponent. It was a Maro, I believe that's how you say it, from I forgot what it was from, but it's from somewhere, with a rating of 1570. We see a team of P2, Coco, Incineroar, Spider, Metagross, and Bulu, and Spider is Araquanid. I just like to call it Spider. So, interesting team. Metagross is really a problem, but it's more Metagross Lele. That's really, really hard for this team. So, it's a little bit easier You know, Landorus isn't terrible here. The only problem is it's probably Ice Punch on Metagross, because Landorus can hit a lot of his team for super effective damage. I would not be surprised to see him lead something like Metagross and Incineroar. I don't know if he goes to Trick Room mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Gardevoir Coco lead. Snorlax on the back. Although Mungus, I really do like a Mungus too, because outside of the Incineroar, it's pretty good. And he may not bring Trick Room, so I'll go with Mungus and Incineroar. Kind of like Gardevoir, Mungus, and Incineroar is kind of the, I guess, main core. So we'll go with that. Snorlax would be nice, but because I have it, I don't know if he brings Trick Room. And if he does, again, I have Trick Room on Gardevoir. Like it's a cool control move on Gardevoir where I can always try and reverse it. I mean, obviously the one downside about Gardevoir is it's not as bulky, at least on the physical side. Like it's fairly special bulky, but he does lead P2 Metagross. So he'll threaten the Gardevoir here, except I could also just opt to Giga Volt Havoc Metagross, and that would just outright KO it in terrain. What do we trace here? Trace Clear Body. Oh, it would have been cool to trace Download, because then we would have gotten a special attack boost. But we don't get it. So let's see what he has. He doesn't have a safe switch into Giga Volt except for Tapu Bulu. And if I had to guess, that's probably what Metagross could switch out into here. So given that, I'm going to switch out into a Mungus, and I'm going to Volt Switch off the P2. Yeah, and I could probably go into Incineroar here if he just like stays in, possibly Intimidate Metagross, depending if he Mega Evolves or not. So we'll see what he goes for. I'll preserve Gardevoir for now, and get into a position in case he goes for Trick Room. And then if I have a Mungus and Incineroar on the field and he sets up Trick Room, I'll be in a pretty good spot. But he just opts to Protect. And that's okay. I would like to bring in... Yeah, I'll bring in... let's see what he does here. He might just go for something like Shadow Ball. I could bring in Incineroar, because then I threaten Fake Out onto Metagross. But I kind of want to bring in Gardevoir, because then I can just Rage Powder. I could Rage Powder Hyper Voice, and then bring Incineroar to Intimidate it later. I'm going to go with that. I'll go back into Gardevoir. Let's see if I can trace Download this time too, because if I can trace Download, I should get a special attack boost, and then my Hyper Voice will be doing even more damage. Give me the Download. Yes, it's cool. So we get Download. That should give a special attack boost, and it does. Cool. So now we have +1. He goes for Thunderbolt. This will do pretty good damage. He Thunderbolts the Coco slot, but now what I can do is I can Rage Powder and Mega Evolve Hyper Voice. And at +1, like, even Metagross is going to take a decent chunk from this. And Mungus will just protect Gardevoir from an Iron Head. And once if he chooses to Mega Evolve, then I can bring in Incineroar the following turn. But he'll likely Ice Punch or Zen Headbutt. And there's Incineroar. Like I said, this is good. He has to take a +1. Yeah, he has to take a +1 Hyper Voice. And the next turn I can probably protect, switch into Incineroar. He could make a really good play in Stomping Tantrum that way, but if I can Intimidate him and get some Regenerator health for Mungus. Okay, so Mega Evolving here. I'm really curious how much damage this Incineroar is going to take. But yeah, I think my next play after this, especially depending on how this goes, I will switch out into Incineroar and protect Gardevoir. And then I'll have the Fake Out pressure. But he goes for Iron Head, so this will do a sizable chunk. We are physically bulky, and Hyper Voice comes out. How much does this do? Oh man, that did a lot to Metagross. So awesome. Gosh, getting that Download boost was great. So I'm going to switch out into my Incineroar and protect Gardevoir. Because he shouldn't have like any kind of setup here. He'll probably Fake Out a Mungus. But we'll get Intimidate on both these Pokemon, and then I can Fake Out the Metagross. One thing like he could protect or switch out Metagross, but you know, he has to eat a +1 Hyper Voice, whatever comes in. And Incineroar just goes down to another Hyper Voice. So yeah, there's the Fake Out. And he goes for the Iron Head. Alright, cool. So, I don't see any reason not to Fake Out Metagross Hyper Voice. I mean, even if he protects Metagross or switches out, he probably switches out Incineroar, but again, whatever comes in has to take a lot of damage. And he's... So, oops, let's protect. Let's not protect. So we want to Fake Out. Like, I could read this, but it's just too risky. And I'm just going to KO Incineroar anyways. Now it would really be bad if he has Protect on Incineroar, because he could just double Protect. So I could set up Trick Room, actually. But I don't want him to switch something out that like takes advantage of Trick Room. So I'll go ahead and Hyper Voice. But he might just switch Protect. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. But again, I'm just going to do big damage here. Yeah, and see, I would have set up Trick Room for Porygon, which not the most ideal thing to set Trick Room up for. Which, yeah, so there's the Protect. So good Protect by him, but again, Porygon has to eat a lot of damage here. Alright, so... Now, Protect or Switch from Gardevoir is obvious. And because he protected, Stomping Tantrum isn't double damage. If he just let me Fake him out, but he would have to take a lot of damage. So, because he just protected, he could switch Metagross out. I'm going to knock off. And I could protect, or I could switch out into my Amoonguss. No, let's Flare Blitz. Because if he switches into Incineroar, I can just Hyper Voice it again. I'll go ahead and protect Flare Blitz here. He could read this, but he's at -1. Switching Metagross out would be a good play, which he does. So he makes a really good play. It is a Araquanid. So he's going to be going for Trick Room here. I could reverse the Trick Room. So if I had switched into Amoonguss, that would have been a pretty good play. So he'll... Oh, he recovers. Okay, great. So I can just... So I can go for Hyper Voice here now. It's a good thing he didn't Trick Room. He also might have Wide Guard on Araquanid. I have to watch out for that. So I'm going to switch Incineroar out back into Amoonguss. I'm actually going to Psyshock the Araquanid, just in case he goes for Wide Guard. Because Porygon 2 I'm not too worried about. So, yeah, I'll Psyshock Araquanid, switch into Amoonguss. Because I don't want to go fire off a Hyper Voice into a Wide Guard, and then watch, and then have him set up Trick Room. So, but Amoonguss does cover the Trick Room setup, so I'm okay if he goes for that. Yeah, see, there's the Wide Guard. And because I'm running Psyshock and Araquanid's defense is lower, this will do more damage than Psychic, most likely. So, we get the Psyshock off. And that does... Oh, that just KOs him. And now he's going to probably set up Trick Room for my Amoonguss. No, he goes for Ice Beam. That's fine. So, that'll do a whole lot of nothing. No freeze, so that's good. And Metagross could come back in, but now I can just Rage Powder away the Iron Head. So that was a really good... That was really smart going for Psyshock. That worked out really well. I'm really surprised that KO'd, but Psychic probably wouldn't have, because Araquanid has a lot higher special defense. He opts for Metagross. That's fine. I could also try and protect Spore, but he could just double up the Amoonguss. And I do have Coco in the back. He has Incineroar, which he may... He can't switch into Incineroar, though. He would just go down. I think I just Rage Powder Hyper Voice. I don't see anything, because I would hate... I don't want... Yeah, because I don't want to protect... Because he could double up Amoonguss with Ice Beam, Ice Punch, and that might KO it. So I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to protect... No, I'm going to Rage Powder and Hyper Voice. I do not... Yeah, I do not want to risk... Because I don't know if that would KO. If Ice Punch, Ice Beam would KO. But he keeps going for Iron Head, so he probably doesn't even have it. So maybe I could have gone for... Oh, it does so much at +1. My goodness. Oh, I crit the P2. Let's see if I could have. Let's see if I could have taken it. I definitely probably. Although Ice Punch might have just knocked me. Yeah, so that knocked me out. So I'm glad I attacked there. Because now I can just bring in Incineroar. Actually, no. I'm gonna bring in Coco. Because Coco. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna bring in Tapu Koko, and then I'm going to Volt Switch and Hyper Voice. Yeah, we'll Volt Switch Metagross and Hyper Voice here. I think Hyper Voice, after that crit was really fortunate because I think Porygon goes down to another Hyper Voice. Alternatively, I could Sight Shock, but I don't know if that's enough to pick up the KO. I mean, Porygon's usually specially bulky. No, I'll just Hyper Voice on the off chance Incineroar tries to switch in. Like he might Protect Switch. I would just KO Incineroar at that point. So there's the Protect. Good Protect. So a Slash Shock would have been better depending on if this Hyper Voice picks up the KO or not. So here's the Hyper Voice. It does. Cool. So yeah, that crit was really fortunate because it put him in range. So Incineroar comes in, but I'm just gonna I just double protect. I don't think there's any way around it. He could be cheeky and attack his own Incineroar, probably live like with an Iron Head, and then he would what is it? Yeah, he would be able to. Yeah, I'll just double protect here. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, he would be able to activate his berry if he has it, if he has berry. But yeah, I just double protect. I don't think there's anything he can do. The only thing that'd be bad if it's like agility Metagross, which now that I think about it, maybe switching would have been safer. No, he has Stomping Tantrum, so I'm guessing he has Zen Headbutt because he didn't Ice Punch that Amoonguss before. So now I can just. Yeah, I can just Volt Switch, and alternatively I could just Gigavolt. I might as well, because then if for whatever reason he protects, Gigavolt just picks it up, and Hyper Voice here, and Hyper Voice +1 will take out Incineroar. Yeah, he protects anyways, but like I said, Gigavolt will just KO through the Protect. And at best at 3, I'd probably just try and Volt Switch, because I'm going to KO that Incineroar with Hyper Voice anyways. But here, I'll just to end the game faster, I will Gigavolt through the Protect for the KO. And so that's game right there. So that was so yeah, you kind of got to see what was cool there is the synergy of Gardevoir and Amoonguss, is how well Gardevoir or Amoonguss supports Gardevoir in redirecting those strong physical attacks like Iron Head and especially Iron Head for Metagross. And then you got to see the power of, well, +1 Hyper Voice, but that's another thing that's cool about Gardevoir is that trace ability. Because a lot of times I will trace Intimidate too, and Intimidate is great for Gardevoir. There's a lot of Intimidate going around between Incineroar and Landorus, and then there's some things like Mega Manectric and Salamence going around. So there is a lot of Intimidate, and so I do trace Intimidate frequently. And then coming in and tracing that download boost with Metagross on the field, that like ensured I got a special attack boost with Gardevoir. And then with like just you saw how much damage that Hyper Voice was doing at that point. So alright, yeah, here we go. So we find Jack from New York. The rating is 1707. So we got a 1700 player with Charizard. Alright, so Charizard, Gastrodon, Coco, Landorus, the Bisharp, and Mimikyu. So scary looking team. Bisharp, we've seen it before. I always think it's a scary Pokemon, and he's gonna bring it because I have 2 Intimidators. Yeah, it's a scary Pokemon for sure. The cool thing is I think Gardevoir 2-hit KOs Bisharp. However, the Charizard very threatening to Amoonguss. I also have to figure if I decide if I actually want to bring any of my Intimidators. I probably won't bring Landorus. Landorus is kind of the niche pick on this team. The other 5 are way more likely to bring. I do want to bring Coco, even though he has 2 ground types. It's just that Charizard. Like, I could opt for Incineroar. The only thing that resists Hyper Voice is Charizard. Yeah, this is a little tricky. I'm also worried about Scarflando. Let's just leave Mega Gardevoir again. Do I bring Incineroar? Incineroar doesn't look bad. I think I'm gonna bring Snorlax. Kind of go for the more Trick Room mode. And my Snorlax should be faster. My Snorlax isn't min speed. It could be faster than something like Gastrodon. So we'll try it. I kind of want to prioritize getting rid of the, yeah, getting rid of the Bisharp would be nice because it can knock off my, yeah, just because it can knock off my Bisharp Mimikyu. Okay, yeah, he can knock off my thing. What is it called? Okay, we'll trace Defiance, so if he, that doesn't really matter. Oh, but yeah, he can knock off Snorlax's Berry, which is annoying. Yeah, which is fine. Not very useful since that raises attack. I want to switch. I kind of want to switch Gardevoir out into Snorlax. I'm afraid of like some kind of Z move from the Mimikyu or Ghost type move. Or I could alternatively just go for the Hyper Voice. I do outspeed Adamant Bisharp, but Jolly Bisharp I don't. But usually they're Adamant. You can also switch into Ground type here, which would make a lot of sense. Though I wouldn't mind getting Trick Room up. I'm gonna double switch. Seems kind of weird, but I'm gonna try double switch. I want to double switch here, and then like trying to see if I can Rage Powder plus Belly Drum. He may just opt to protect the Bisharp, fearing the attack. Yeah, so we capitalize on that. Now if he goes for like a Ghost move on the Snorlax, that'd be cool. But he goes for Play Rough, and that doesn't do much. Alright, cool. So I can pretty safely... Oh, he's Life Orb. Good to know. So I can pretty safely Rage Powder Belly Drum. Can't think of what he can do to stop that. So that's Bisharp's probably Focus Sash, seeing how the Life Orb is on Mimikyu, because Bisharp generally is either Focus Sash or Life Orb. So yeah, I think I'm gonna Rage Powder Belly Drum, start putting on the pressure. Because then he'll have to start focusing down on Snorlax, and then I can probably get something like Gardevoir in. And if he KOs the Bisharp, that's fine. Okay, so that's a really good taunt by him. Really smart taunt. And he knocks off the Ogwov. So here I'm just gonna switch Protect. Well, actually, I don't think I'm terribly threatened. An Iron Head Play Rough. I wouldn't expect that to KO. But I do want to preserve a Mungus. So I'm gonna Frustration Bisharp, and I'm gonna switch out into Coco. Yeah, because then next turn I can probably Dazzling Gleam. I need to break the disguise on this Mimikyu. So I'll switch out into Coco. Maybe I could lose Coco here. Oh, he has Will-O-Wisp. He's Will-O-Wisp Taunt. That's really cool. So he's like a supportive Life Orb type. That's really interesting. So we'll take a decent chunk here. Not a ton. And he flinches. That's really not good. Oh yeah, I forgot. Will-O-Wisp is definitely a thing on Mimikyu. But it's weird to see, like, he's Life Orb, so I wasn't expecting that. Alright, so I'm gonna Dazzling Gleam, because I want to break the disguise. I'll just go for Frustration Dazzling Gleam here. See how poorly this turns out. Alternatively, I could Volt Switch and break the disguise. Let's do that. Yeah, so there's the Protect, so I'll Volt Switch off the Mimikyu here. And then I think I'm just going to go right out into Gardevoir and fire off a Hyper Voice. Yeah, gosh, that Will-O-Wisp, that was brutal. Question is, how fast is this Mimikyu? Probably pretty quick. He was outspeeding the Bisharp, so he should be fast Mimikyu. So I could go back out into Mungus. Because Gardevoir goes in, he probably eats like something like a... Gosh, yeah, this Bisharp's causing me problems. So, I gotta make this turn now. Let's go back into Mungus. Because I can still Rage. I can Rage Powder here and attack the Bisharp. I just want to break this thing's Sash. That's like all I really want to do. Alright. And he's taking chip damage. I'm going to the Protect. So I'm gonna frustrate the Bisharp again. And I'm actually going to Protect Mungus. Because I just want to break the stupid Sash, or just do a lot of damage to whatever comes in. But yeah, I'm going to Protect Mungus here. I don't think he can KO Snorlax. He might double Snorlax, because he doesn't know I have Protect. Yeah, see, he goes for he's Shadow Claw plays. Mimikyu doesn't have Protect. So we know all of the moves on Mimikyu. He goes for Knockoff. Interesting. Okay, so there. That... probably not in... Probably don't put him into... Dazzling... Yeah, I probably don't put him into like Dazzling Gleam range, but he should be in Hyper Voice range. So I'll just frustrate and I'm gonna Sludge Bomb. If he can't knock. I don't think he can knock both out. Probably only can knock one of them out, which is kind of what I want right here. Because then, yeah, because if he knocks out one of them, it's a free switch. So we'll get rid of Bisharp. That. Oh, he hung on. That's brutal. But now I can come in with Coco and like Dazzling or something. We'll get a Poison. So between Life Orb and Poison, this Mimikyu will get chipped down quite a bit. So he could... I guess now he can get a double KO. The problem here is if I switch out a Mungus, I'm gonna have to protect Snorlax here. And I'll let a Mungus go down, so I will just Sludge Bomb Mimikyu. So the one downside to losing a Mungus is if he has Coco in the back, because Coco is Coco is incredibly important. Oh, okay, so he doubled Snorlax. Interesting. I mean, that kind of makes sense, but we just get rid of Mimikyu now. Now I might have a really good reason to save a Mungus. Because, like, if he has Coco in the back, then I really want to keep Mungus around. There's Charizard. He just presses Heat Wave here. I can't protect. I have another turn of Taunt. I only could have been 2-turn Taunt. I think that was only 1-turn Taunt. Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's not. I guess Coco Gardevoir comes in. We can just maybe clean this up. So I'm gonna go for the Frustration Sludge Bomb play. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm gonna... Oh, he Tailwinds. That was really good. What does he KO here? Probably Snorlax. So that was a really smart Tailwind. We'll get a little bit of damage. I can Rage Powder away. Let's bring in Gardevoir. Okay, so this turn I'm gonna double protect. Then I can try and Rage Powder Hyper Voice. Gosh, I'm sure he has Coco in the back, and the reason I'm worried about that, I'm really worried about that because I really want a Mungus round for that. The good thing is that Gardevoir can live. Yeah, Gardevoir can live a Gigavolt Havoc. The issue, however, is that I have to eat a Heat Wave, most likely, the next turn. Oh, but Charizard's faster. So he can just go Heat Wave and then Iron Head. Yeah, man, Charizard, that Tailwind on Charizard coming in clutch. Really clutch. So yeah, and then he can just go straight for the Iron Head into Gardevoir. Ah, man, and also that Bisharp hanging on. So that would have probably been the turn to switch out Mungus. Maybe I need a Heat Wave miss. It feels like my only out at this point. Ah, it's not looking good. Because Heat Wave Iron Head will take out Gardevoir. I might just go. Could just go for a double protect. No, I'm gonna have to play for the Heat Wave miss. I think that's my best bet, and I'll just Rage Powder. So, I need him to miss Heat Wave. I can't, like, in the short amount of time I have, I can't really think of another way around it. So, miss the Heat Wave, please. Please miss the Heat Wave. Miss Heat Wave. Miss Heat Wave. Come on. Yes! Oh my gosh, we got it. And then we'll get rid of this Bisharp. That burn could be annoying though. Okay, so now we have a chance. Now we have a bit of a chance here. So I'll get out this big Hyper Voice, get rid of this Bisharp. And now I have to double protect the next turn. And then it's probably gonna come down to like a protect read. Most likely. Also, well, we gotta see what this last Pokemon is too. I'm expecting it to be a Coco Mirror here. Oh, it's Landorus. He might just be Scarf too. Yeah, I think he should have this game. I'll double protect. So, yeah, sorry, I got excited for nothing. Oh man, so many things didn't go my way this time. Well, that's not true, like, that was like, there's probably some other things I could have done. So I'll go ahead and double protect here. Probably hope he is not Scarf Lando, but even if he's not Scarf, he just protects Charizard, and yeah, he just protects Charizard. He locks into Earthquake. He's faster. This is a Scarf Landorus, I have no doubt. So I think even if he's not Scarf, there's not much I can do other than go for Trick Room, which I might do, and just like hope for some weird reason. So I'm just gonna Trick Room and double protect. I probably should have gone for Trick Room that turn, because like if he misses Heat Wave and I somehow survive the Earthquake, but I don't expect that to happen. He didn't even. Yeah, he's Scarf. The fact that he didn't even protect. So maybe the last turn I should have. But I think this Earthquake should just kill Gardevoir. Yeah, so that's game. So I should have just went for Trick Room last turn. That would have been a much probably better play, but I wouldn't have lived it. I maybe would have lived, but then Burn probably just takes me out. So good game to our opponent. Him having the Scarf Lando in the back was definitely what he needed. Yeah, it would have been nice to get that Bisharp return sooner. That turn it lived. Will-O-Wisp Mimikyu, didn't see that coming, so good game to our opponent. Probably could have brought some things, probably could have brought some different stuff there. But, yeah, what are you going to do? So, I am going to actually save that battle. But anyway, so that is a bit of a long episode. That was a long second battle. But we get 1 win, 1 loss, and I will continue on with this team this week later, and yeah, so leave a like if you liked, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. So, alright guys, see you tomorrow. Later.